China's economic rise as a global exporter has transformed it into a major player without conforming to Western trade norms. Now its growth faces a resistance as US-China trade tensions escalate with significant implications for other countries, including that of India. China's trade surplus is projected to hit a record $1 trillion US, but this achievement could fuel a fresh trade war with the United States as Donald Trump is set to pursue a tougher stance. With a Republican majority Senate likely supporting him, the trade war has a key player, Robert Lighthizer, who's a strong advocate for tariffs. Lighthizer, who served as US Trade Representative in Trump's first term, is known for his firm stance on protecting US industries. Reports suggest he's preparing a new strategy to ensure reciprocal trade access, which means that if US faces trade barriers in China, China will face similar restrictions in the United States of America. This approach is not new. In the 1970s, the US took similar measures against Japan, accusing it of practices like state support and intellectual property theft, which are now central to US complaints against China. Trade experts note that, like Japan then, China is now targeted as a competitor in global markets. Meanwhile, India finds itself in a delicate position. As a developing country, India may gain some advantages if the US turns away from China in certain industries. But trade economists say that India should also be prepared for potential restrictions. India's pharmaceutical and IT sectors, where it competes closely with the United States, could be specifically vulnerable. Abhijit Das, who's a trade expert, warned that India could be the next target if it becomes a perceived threat to US industries. He suggests that India should take a proactive role in pushing for reforms within the World Trade Organization to prevent rich countries from changing rules to their advantage. Lighthizer is vocal in his belief that America's past free trade policies were misguided, especially in a globalized economy that includes China. He argues that free trade boosts corporate profits but leads to job losses in the US. To counter this, he suggests using tariffs to protect American industries, even if it means bypassing the WTO. In 2019, he effectively blocked the WTO's dispute resolution process by refusing to appoint judges, which allowed the US to impose tariffs without any legal challenges. Trade experts advise that if the United States imposes tariffs on Indian exports, India might need to consider retaliatory tariffs. This strategy worked during Trump's first term when India raised tariffs on US agricultural products, leading to a negotiated settlement. Ajay Sahai, the head of the Federation of Indian Export Organizations, explains that India's trade deficit with the US has grown, which might prompt the US to demand concessions from India on issues like intellectual property, labor standards, or digital trade. Sectors such as pharmaceuticals, IT services, textiles, and steel, where both countries have competitive industries, could be affected by new tariffs. The US is a major market for these Indian exports, so new trade barriers would likely impact India's economy. However, experts say India could also benefit if US tariffs on Chinese goods create openings in global markets that Indian exporters can fill. With trade tensions between US and China intensifying, India stands both to gain and lose. Experts suggest that India advocate for a fair trade system and prepare for potential conflicts in key industries. The need for a balanced approach in responding to US policies will be crucial to India's economic strategy in the years ahead.